Welcome to the Extending Your Answer in Speaking Part 2. Now, here are some tips for the IELTS Speaking Part 2. In the IELTS Speaking Part 2, you will be given by a topic by the examiner and you have to speak for 2 minutes. The topic will be the one that the examiner chooses and you can't change it. There are always things that you have some experience of and be able to talk about. However, some students find it difficult to do so because you only have 1 minute to prepare what you're going to say. And you also might be very nervous having to speak for 2 minutes to someone. So here is an example question. Describe someone who has had an important influence on your life. You should say who the person is, how long you have known him or her, what qualities this person has, and explain why they have had such an influence on you. So here are some tips on how you can extend your response. So you can use the WH question. So like who, what, when, where, how, why. So when you prepare, write down other question prompts that are not on the list and think of things you can say about those as well. You need to stay on topic, but it's okay to talk about things that are not directly related to the question prompts. For example, when did you meet, or where did you meet? Next tip is to think of a story. You can also tell a story about the person, place, event, or thing you're discussing. So in your 1 minute, think of and note down a quick and preferably an interesting story to tell about the topic. You can tell the story anywhere in your IELTS speaking part 2 as long as it fits in. So here is a sample answer applying the WH questions. So the person I'm going to talk about today is my teacher from high school. So we have the who. Her name was Miss Chadwick, and she taught quite a few subjects at the school. She had been working there for quite a few years when I met her, I think. And then you have the where. We met for the first time in my English class. And then more about the who. I remember this well because she was quite young compared to most of the other teachers in the school, so I was surprised that she was a teacher. In fact, she looked more like she could be one of the older students. Then you have the how long. So I met her when I was 15, and that was 10 years ago. I don't actually know her anymore as we lost contact soon after I left school, but I still remember her very well for several reasons. And then you have the what qualities. Firstly, she was very kind. She always treated all the students very well in the class, and I can't remember her ever shouting at anyone. Also, she had a really good sense of humor. She would make jokes in the class, which most of the other teachers never did. The other teachers were very serious all the time, and she made the classes a lot of fun and very interesting, something that I think is very neat. Otherwise, you start to get bored. Oh, and also she explained things very clearly. Often teachers are not able to do this in a way that they can understand, especially when it's complicated subject. Then you have, so those are the qualities that she had. The why such an influence? The reason she had such an important influence on me is because I was quite a shy person at school and not very confident. But she helped me to change this. And then you have your story. Each year there was a school play that I would be held in front of all the parents. And that year when I was 15, Miss Chadwick was organizing and directing the play. I really didn't want to be in it because I was so shy. But Miss Chadwick insisted that I take one of the roles, and it was one of the main roles, which meant that I would have to do a lot of speaking. I was so nervous. Anyway, I went and did it, and on the night I did really well and really enjoyed it, and that boosted my confidence. And this has helped me to this day. So my teacher, Miss Chadwick, is a person who has influenced my life, and I will never forget.